Tudno FM.
Truly local radio, voices you know and music you love. Tudno FM. You found Tudno FM.
Tudno FM is a community radio, basically known as LLandrillo Community Radio Limited, but it's known on air as Tudno FM, and it's a community radio for Llandudno and the surrounding areas. Community First is, by definition, is an area of deprivation and disadvantage, and Tudno Mostyn is one of the major areas in Wales as an area of deprivation, and we thought we'd move in here and give the people around here the opportunity to get involved in community radio, be aware of what's around them, hopefully engage them, get them on board, train them up, give them a good induction programme, increase their skills and get them out into the employment market.
Why did you volunteer for Tudno FM?
Because it'd be a great opportunity to get into journalism, which is something I've always wanted to do, but I've not got the qualifications, so it's a good experience.
I heard about this and just rang them up and said, you know, do you need anyone to help you on the news department? Met Sean, who I was quite in awe of because he was on Coast FM, so I thought, you know, to be working with a real journalist, you know, a proper, fully trained one. When I come in the morning, someone will dictate the news to me, first of all, because obviously there's not a lot of time. And then I will then go and write up the new bulletin. Sean or someone will email it to me and I'll write it on here, dictate it from there to here, and then read it on the news.
Tudno FM? I thought it was announcing trains. Well, I volunteered at Tudno FM because I just finished a postgraduate course in London and I was struggling to find work, and I heard about this place and it was a chance for me to practice what I like doing, which is doing news, and it's a lot of fun and there's some good people here.
It's just something that I felt in my heart that I had to do. I don't do this for money, I don't get 1 pence for it, but I absolutely love it. And the people around here, people who volunteer, there's guys in this room now that volunteer, and I think that they absolutely love it, and it's just something that you've got to do in your life.
My role as station manager is pretty much the day-to-day running of the station, making sure team morale is happy with all the presenters, because obviously everyone's a volunteer here, and just make sure everyone's enjoying being here, because if they're not enjoying themselves, there's no point coming. So that's what we try and build a good atmosphere for volunteers to keep coming back and doing something for free. And also the scheduling, the programming, what goes out on air, the image and the sound of the station. It's not just people turning up to do a show. We're trying to present an image. Tudno FM's a fun station, and we want to, when we're out doing outside broadcasts, it's my job to make sure that when we're out there, it looks fun and it sounds great. And the same on air. The presenters are enjoying themselves, the music's good and upbeat, and that's my role to cover all that side of things.
Radio for Llandudno. Radio for you. This is Tudno FM.
I'm the head of news and I'm also the office manager here as well. We've got myself, we've got the station manager, Carl Davis here, we've got Director Development Officer, and we've got Avrils in charge of admin. They're our paid staff, and I'd like to think we all have an essential contribution to the running of Tudno FM, but like I say, we're a small part of it in terms of numbers. Without those volunteers, there's not going to be a radio station. We give them whatever training they need, and we get some volunteers who come here who, due to their experience, possibly with other radio stations, university or college courses, possibly don't need that much training. Obviously we need to train them in terms of make sure they understand what we want from them in terms of Tudno FM as opposed to what they might have learned. But a lot of the learning you carry from whether it be a commercial, BBC or college or uni background, you can put into practice here. But if somebody's totally new to it, we can train them on the legal aspect of things here. We can give them voice training. We can also just train them on things such as scripts and what have you, making sure the scripts are quite tight and to the point, and also that they can verify any stories that we get, so they just don't go on hearsay or what have you. Every story that we get has to be verified and also balanced as well.
How is Tudno FM funded?
Funded, really, we've been very lucky. The Welsh Assembly Government started us off with £250,000, which bought the equipment and also, most importantly, funded me for 3 years. And apart from that, we're funded by 2 of the Conway County Borough Council departments have given us service level agreements. But mainly it's looking for grants. It's my job really, that's how the funding comes in, from different grants that we apply for. But the main source of income is from the Welsh Assembly Government and from Ofcom as well.
To be fair, there's no sort of stereotype volunteer we're looking for. It's just anyone who's interested in helping out. Whether you want to come in and present a show, or just come in and be around the atmosphere of make a cup of tea, or whatever, that cliche of coming, massive range. But it is because we try and provide all the training necessary to get on in radio. I mean, we don't promise anything you're going to be a great success, but the people we've had here have come from different backgrounds, and now they've moved on to different stations over in Stoke, in Heart FM, and over in, well, it's Heart as well, but it's Champion, their version. We've had people who've come here volunteering, and now they've moved on to bigger and better things, which is fantastic, which is the station. That's what it's all about. I don't want people to come here and feel they have to come here. I've got to go to volunteer, I've got to go to work, some people call it. But it's just a place where it's a hobby at the end of the day, and we try and build a fun atmosphere for everyone to come back and enjoy themselves. For example, the extravaganza this year, we did the extravaganza factor, which me and a few of the guys were singing on the high street outside the library in Llandudno, and it was brilliant. It was such a fun day. Everyone had a great time. We had hundreds of people around us, and it was just a great experience and a great day for everyone. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do, is just build a fun atmosphere.
We decided that the area needs a radio station, and that's what it all came out of. I worked in commercial radio for 9 years for local radio, enjoyed it, but there's nothing anymore. There is now because of what we set up here. Volunteering starts at the lowest level, and you can work your way up, but there's people going on to national radio now. Radio Cymru, for instance, a young lady's gone to Radio Cymru. We've got a couple of the guys that are in local radio now as well, commercial station. And that's what I wanted to do in the very beginning.
Why do you think Tudno FM is important?
For Llandudno and the surrounding areas.
What opportunities are there for volunteers not everybody is interested in presenting, so...
Most are, it's amazing. Everybody wants to be a presenter, when in reality we probably could do with more news readers, more researchers, and more importantly, more technicians. But what we tend to do is what we can give for them. A lot of them, it depends on the circumstances. We've built up a lot of people's self-esteem, their confidence, because obviously the door's open to anybody, even if they've got disabilities or learning difficulties. We try and find something for them. But I suppose latterly the main thing we can do is give them accredited media qualifications, which we've done in a link with LLandrillo and put on media courses here. And I think the proof of the pudding is that some of our volunteers have actually got some form of employment out of being a volunteer with us.
How would somebody volunteer if they wanted to?
The first thing they've got to do is get in touch with either myself or my colleague Avril, because, as you know, everyone's got to be CRB checked these days. And now we've got, within THAPAS, we've got a mother and toddler group youth club. It's important now that every volunteer starts with us, gets CRB checked before they get introduced to the radio station proper. Because then obviously they meet the station manager, the news editor, who then will speak to them and decide which area the volunteer prefers to do, and also which area they think they're suited to.
So what telephone number do they ring?
The telephone number is 01492 877 036, which is the special line to myself and Avril. So it means they'll be dealt with, we'll do the proper induction programme that way.
And can they contact you via email as well?
They can. It's lowercase, it's community radio, which is all one word, community radio at mac247, that's mac247.co.uk.
Right, coming to 6 o'clock, I'm going to be off very shortly. Thanks for listening. Back tomorrow from 4 on your big drive home. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow. Bye.